All right, hi and welcome to another tutorial series, and I'm calling this series basically working with yourself or others, and this is going to focus on uh, user management. Either if you're an administrator, this could be other users, or if you're a non-administrator, this could just be your own user profile. And it all starts like we did before by setting up our profile. So we're going to import OS, temp file, requests, and then we're going to do from arcgis.gis, import GIS. This is going to allow us to connect to our organization. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and focus on what we need to do. And like I said before, we're going to work with the user manager. And the user manager is going to allow us to control users. And this means users' items, your user profile, the groups that you belong to, the folders that you have. So basically anything related to user, you can do it through the user manager. If you're an administrator, you can set the type, you can set the number of provisions that they have, all kinds of interesting things. But you can't do anything until you connect to your organization. So here I'm going to connect to my profile and then print out my username. And you can see that I'm username Andrew. So the me is a user class, and it's the easiest way to get to yourself. The user is going to provide you information that you need to know about your account. So this is your access to your license types that you have, the various roles, whether you're an administrator or if it's a customized one, the content folder, groups you own by you, the groups that you belong to, item groups you own. Now, if you create a default account, your account will own nothing. In this case, I'm going to use an existing account, and let's go ahead and take a look. So we're going to first create a folder on my account. And much like an operating system, when you would just right click and create new folder in a directory or do Linux and you'd use the make dir command, you can use the create folder function to add a new folder within your organization and just provide it with a name. So we do gis content.create folders, and this creates an entry within your organization. In this case, I'm going to call it museums. And I can look at the title for my folder and get back museums. The other information that comes back is a folder ID. And then we can see what folders my user has by looping through myself and doing me.folders or user.folders, and it returns back a list of strings, in this case, just the title of our folders. Let's go ahead and add some content to this data. So I'm gonna download data from Open Data website from the city of New York, pull down the information as a CSV. I'm then going to save it local, stream the data down like we did in the previous exercises, and add the item up. So we're going to do GS content.add, and in this case, we're going to provide our title, type, and tags along with a description. Notice the type this time, instead of being either a file geodatabase or shapefile, it's going to be a CSV. I provide the path of where I want to, I provide the data path where the CSV is located, and I provide, in this case, the folder. This will create an entry in my account for the New York City data in that museum's folder. I can then go ahead and publish this. Unlike with shapefiles and file geodatabases, CSV files tend to require other information being passed in. Because we're going to take advantage of something that's really interesting with Enterprise and ArcGIS Online, we're going to be able to geocode on the fly. So we're going to do our item.publish that we added. So this is our CSV file of the New York City Museum data. Provide the name of the service that we want. I'm going to call it NYC_museums. And I'm going to say address equals location. And this is the address of the museums I've downloaded from the New York City Open Public Data site, their actual address. And it'll geocode them before it makes it into a hosted feature service layer. Other things we can do with ourselves besides stating where information goes is we can take a look at what content a user has and what's inside of it. In this case, I'm going to loop through all my folders. So I have two. So you have your root, which think of this as your C drive, and we have all the folders that we created. And we know from previous experience that this is just museums. So I'm going to loop through museums and the root directory of my user account and look at all the items and store it as a dictionary. I'm going to look at the create time, modify vacation time, and then I'm going to store it as a dictionary based on title and provide things like type, created, and modified. And then I'm going to take my pandas data frame, pass in that list of dictionaries, transpose it, and then I get a nice looking chart where the index is the title of the item. We have the feature service type, and the date was created and last modified. And it's going to do that for all the information located within both all my folders for this user. Other things we can do is we can update user profiles. So with this, I'm going to download some information from a website. It's just going to be a globe. Use request to pull it down using a simple get, save it out to disk, and then do me.update, pass in the path to my globe, and see how it persists my user profile. We can see that this image became my user profile. I hope you found this tutorial 7 interesting about working with yourself on ArcGIS Online and Enterprise. If you have any questions, feel free to follow the link to the GitHub page and post it in the issues or within the comments below. Have a good evening.